So I'm struggling as a person, or I'm not showing up as the person shown, but I can show up as Seán the director. I can go to the film festivals and I can bang away at this script and I can, workshop with these actors or whatever.
And
so
if the two things are in those, if your personality and or if your identity is tied into your job and you're feeling crap, it can so often be like, I'll just achieve more. I'll just try and do better in my job. And you forget.
You're just being a busy idiot. You're not really doing one thing right.
The physical act of acting was sheer joy. Like, when I was in a role, when I was exploring a character, when I was part of the production, part of the team, and I guess immersed in it. Yes, I loved every second of it. It was the stuff in between. It was the waiting for the phone to ring, the rejection, the disappointment, the really feeling like I was there. I was thereabouts. I was, this was the one, and then to be shot down again.
Because somebody asked me actually a few years ago, was like, "Oh, why do you live here?" And I said, I surprised myself when I said this, but I meant it. And I said, like, I can sit with my failure here. And I couldn't at home. I was running away from it always, whether I was drinking or, hanging out with the wrong people, or, on social media, or just like constantly distracting myself. And I needed a job so that I could avoid that sense of failure. I needed, and it just doesn't work like that. And so here, like, if I sit with it, and it's not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing.
Yeah. And we know when we think deeply, that's not how it happens. An audition is isn't that? You're going in, you're presenting your art.
Yeah.
And it's up to the person to see it the way they want to see it. It's, you leave your art in the room and you leave. I think Brian Cranston said something similar.
Yeah.
I described it as a sculpture one time, going in and they go, okay, here's your instructions. Can you do a head? Can you do a head with a big nose?
Yeah.
Okay. And you go into the audition, you bring it in, you put it on the chair, and you go, there you go. And the director, whoever, casting director, oh, cool. Can you make the nose bigger? And you're like, yeah. Can you make the ears bigger? And you're like, oh shit, that's hard. I'll try to make the ears bigger. And then they go, okay, cool. And you leave it there. You walk out, just leave it in the room.
Yes.
And you walk out.
I just think I've had to fight to be allowed to be who I am. I've been very lucky with that. I've had such a supportive family always, but I just feel like that I've had to fight to kind of be allowed to be who I am and stuff like that. So I kind of have no choice but to believe in what I do. And I'm lucky in the sense that I don't give a fuck. People think, but I really do.
Yes.
Because when it comes down to it, all of the stuff, all of the titles, the status, the whatever else we put on ourselves as human beings, when it comes down to it, what we want is love and human connection, and that's it. Like, that's who we are. Like, we're really, like, we're a social species, and it just felt that nothing mattered, like nothing in the house, the stuff. I was looking around the house, and it was like, things that we moaned about the week before. I was just like, why do we care? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, but it was just so clear. And I think going forward, it was actually quite, in some ways, it was nice to let myself off the hook, having been so intense for so many years with acting, to go, there's a reason why I'm not doing this, and I'm not playing the game. I'm not doing the schmoozing. I'm not doing the network. I don't do it anymore. I don't want to go to auditions. I don't want to do that.
Like, and I've had a lot of struggles with the I suppose, in my eyes, the lack of success that I've had in what I do and whatever, and people don't understand that. So
because from the outside, and I've experienced this as well, I can relate to that. People think like you're flying it, like you're doing, and it does look from the outside, you're going. But I suppose it's, if you have known you wanted to do it for a long time, the idea of what you were, where you were going to be, it can be very different from, I guess, the reality.
Yeah, totally. Or even perhaps if you are where you would always hoped that you would be, but you still can't pay the mortgage. It's success it comes in so many different levels, and people see one element of it and they don't see the other. And
I'll put it this way: without it, maybe not to put words in your mouth, without it, you'd be a bit lost.
Yeah, I wouldn't survive. And I think that's a huge thing that kept coming up as well. It's survival. And because it's survival, I think that's why we all find it so hard when we're not doing the thing that makes us feel creative. So that's like for me or many of the other guests or whatever, it might be acting. So, you know, our job mightn't allow us to be doing that 9 to 5 most days. So that's why you feel like you're not surviving. You feel like you're dying. So you have to then find the things that give you that feeling, the nourishment, the creative nourishment, so that when you do get on set or on stage, it's just, you know, it's blissful and, you know.